here is a situation where the banking system as a whole would have got the provision coverage ratio, which is as high as about 70%. So if at all, if you really look at it, what is the advantage of the bad bank? Bad bank actually ensures that all such assets are pooled at one place. That is one. And secondly, once such assets are pooled at one place, then it becomes easier to resolve such kind of assets. So it does not involve any wastage of time, which in turn lead to erosion of value in any of these assets. So I think to that extent, if at all there is a AMC plus ARC, which means that ARC will acquire these assets, and plus AMC would be the one which would be interested in the task of carrying out the operating agency function. That is something which is, if at all it is all put together in one umbrella, that is a bad bank. So, considering the fact that the banking system has got about 70% kind of a PCR, so banks would be in a position to realize the value which is unlocked into these assets. If at all there is a mechanism which is the ARC plus AMC. So I think to that extent, yes, of course, it will help the system in ensuring better resolution, faster resolution, and better realization of value. So if at all bad bank means the combination of the two, then of course it is a welcome situation. And I would also like to add, today the situation seems ripe because the PCR in the system has improved significantly.
State Bank of India Chairman Dinesh Kara and Bloomberg's Haslinda Amin. We do have breaking news right now. The Senate has the votes to confirm Janet Yellen as U.S. Treasury Secretary. This was expected to be an easy confirmation. We had unanimous approval of the Senate Finance Committee last week. We now have the votes to confirm Janet Yellen as U.S. Treasury Secretary. She would be the first woman to hold the position. She is, of course, the 74-year-old former Federal Reserve Chair, and she has her work cut out. We do have, of course, that $1.9 trillion stimulus package that President Biden is struggling to gain Republican support for. Now we are looking at the Senate chamber. They have the votes to confirm Yellen as the next Treasury Secretary of the United States. Right, we do have big interviews coming up, including the AIIB President Jin-Lee Chun. But first, it's being called a cult stock. GameStop's roller coaster ride doesn't really make business sense. This according to Loop Ventures. More on this just ahead. This is Bloomberg. to that highly volatile ride of what many are calling a cult stock, GameStop. It's become a battleground between retail traders and short sellers. In fact, one trader turned just over $50,000 into more than 11 million. Sue Keenan has more on what's going on there. And Sue, GameStop, of course, is that retail chain. They sell video games, surging as much as 145% at one point in the latest session. What's going on?
Well, remember when we saw Sears, a bankrupt retailer, starting to rocket in a rally, and everyone was like, what is that? Well, it's just like that, but on steroids. A lot of people are scratching their heads because it doesn't make sense. This is a retailer that is not profitable. It is 6 times above its analyst estimate. It more than doubled in price in the last week alone. And if you look at what happened just in this latest session alone, it was outrageous. The stock was up at one point, as you mentioned, 145% to 159. It triggered 9 trading halts. It then turned negative. So a lot of people maybe lost money that bought in at those heights, and then it rebounded, closing at an 18% higher level, which was a second day of records. What we have is a lot of day traders. Yes, that's what you had with the Sears situation. That's what you've had with a lot of these bankrupt retailers. Young millennial day traders at Robinhood and Reddit are jumping in, and they've also managed to get memes out. There are these Instagram memes that are advising people to squeeze these professional short sellers, and so in that way, it's got a game aspect to it.
All right, Sue Keenan there in New York with the latest on GameSpot. And of course, we have just been looking at live pictures of the vote for Janet Yellen's confirmation vote as Treasury Secretary under the Biden administration. We are now hearing that the Senate vote is continuing, but the Senate has already got the votes to confirm Yellen as U.S. Treasury Secretary. We are also expecting to have a vote for Anthony Blinken in the role of Secretary of State up at the top of the next hour as well, in a very busy day for Capitol Hill, as well as the delivery of that article of impeachment, which will, of course, start the process of the trial, the second impeachment trial of President Donald Trump. The market open in Sydney is next. This is Bloomberg. good morning. I'm Hattie Stroud-Watts in Sydney. We are counting down to Asia's major market open.
I'm Shamrian in New York. Welcome to Daybreak Asia. Our top stories this hour.